Yo, 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 what up? Welcome back to another solo session with D-Boy Wonder. And on today's episode, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. I just binged this whole series today, and now I can understand why people are very disappointed with it. And I'm talking about Marvel's Echo. Now, I wasn't very excited at first for this series because I wasn't even too familiar with the character, and she was actually introduced in Hawkeye. And contrary to what many people believe, I didn't really think she was that bad in Hawkeye. It's just she was just another character that was there, I guess, and it was interesting that she was deaf and she was an amputee and she could fight like that. But this show, it's a lot of wasted potential, man. A lot of wasted potential. Um, they definitely could have made this a lot better. First of all, the plot takes place 5 months after the events of Hawkeye. Maya is being pursued by, Wilson Fisk's organization. When she returns home, she returns to her hometown helping to get help from her family members to help take down the organization because, some of her family members are involved, in a life of crime and do work under Fisk. And obviously in Hawkeye, she shot Fisk thinking he was dead. So, all this is going on while she confronts her past and tries to reconnect with her family that she hasn't been very close with in a very long time. Look, this show was the first Disney Plus series to get a TVMA rating, and I believe they put it under the Marvel Spotlight banner, which is I guess going to be their mature banner for their TV shows. The TVMA rating it's warranted, but it's not. Like there's actually scenes where they do show more blood and they actually do show like gunshots and the gunshot wounds. So I do understand where the TVMA rating came from. There's actually a couple of scenes where I was like, oh yeah, that wouldn't fly in a TV 14. So I understand the TVMA rating, but it's nowhere near as brutal as Daredevil. I'm just making that. Let's make that very clear. Ain't nowhere near that shit. Um, this show had a lot of great ideas, but it was sloppily put together. So it wasn't the most coherent story. The plot was super thin. There was not much to sink your teeth into with this one, bro. You know, the story was going in one direction, and after a certain decision made by a character, it just swung the story in a whole nother direction. And I felt that shit undercut the original plot to begin with. Like, it just confused me. Not to say the story was confusing, it just had me questioning, like, what's the point? Like, yeah, by the end of the show, like, I asked myself, what was the point of this to begin with? Like, it really just didn't make any sense. Like, everything was everything was just so fucking sloppy, bro. It got me upset. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the confrontation at the very end of the series, it just felt very forced by that point, and it was underwhelming as hell. I still don't understand what the fuck happened. Like, I don't know if she beat him. Or like, she beat him. I don't even understand what she did. And it's so funny because what she used to beat him was actually one of the things I thought was interesting in the story was the ancestral power. The ancestral power passed down from Chafa, which was the very first Choctaw person. I thought that was a very cool idea to have generational power passed down through women in their tribe. And it was cool, but it just everything felt so discombobulated as I was watching it. And I don't know why I don't know why I don't really don't know why they made this show. Not to say, you know, it was the worst thing I seen, but for something to not really connect to the larger MCU on a great scale, this was kind of a miss. I do want, you know, grounded heroes, like the street level heroes and all of that. But this story was just so incoherent. Like, I had no idea where it was going at all. Like, and where it ended up going, like I said, it felt like a waste of time by the time I got to the end. The characters weren't very memorable, and it wasn't because their performances were bad necessarily. I just think they didn't really have much to do. Like, all the side characters really didn't do much. They didn't really provide anything to the story, to be honest. Like, there was nothing compelling. There could have been a compelling story with you know, Wilson Fisk and Maya, given their relationship, and even he was wasted. Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk is brilliant. We've seen him in the Daredevil series, and here it's no different. He's brilliant when he's on screen, but the problem is he ain't have shit to do either like that. Everything just felt like there was no point of this series even happening. Like, there really was no point. Like, the fucking run around with them even beefing was dumb as hell. It was dumb, bro. Like, this show actually suffered from being too short, I think. I think because they only had 5 episodes, they compacted too many story beats, and they didn't even put it together correctly. I don't understand why it was only 5 episodes, and I'm gonna be honest, yo, Disney Marvel, y'all need to stop doing that. Stop making only 6 episodes and thinking that's good enough to tell a compelling story. It's not. It really isn't. I think 8 to 10 should be your goal, especially if you're gonna make 40 to 45 minute episodes, maybe an hour on some. That should be your goal. Cause 6 episodes, that shit ain't gonna cut it. And she didn't even get 6; she got 5. And she was the first series that they ever just dropped the whole series at one time. So that was very telling to me. Every other show they dropped, they had a week by week drop. This show, they dropped the whole 5 episodes. And I think it's because they knew if we was to wait week to week for these episodes, they would have had a significant drop in viewership. Because I'm gonna be honest, as I was watching, the less interested I got. It's not like I got more intrigued as it went. I was just like, okay, when is something gonna happen? When is something gonna happen? Like, and the things that do happen, it was underwhelming. Now, the good things are the fight scenes were good. Maya is believable beating up men, and I think maybe it's the actress's physique, but it's believable and it looked good. But they were far and few in between. I feel like I only seen like 3 scenes literally of actual like fight choreography in action. That's it. Like, this show was very disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have high expectations for it, but I thought Marvel was gonna turn it around and do something great. And maybe the TVMA rating is what led me to believe that. I ain't gonna lie to you. It did lead me to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Now, Alaqua Cox, she was my favorite thing in the series by far. Besides Vincent D'Onofrio, even though he didn't do much. But I felt her as a deaf actress, you know, people might think, oh, it's easy, there's not much to say. Yo, it's really hard to get, you know, emotions across, you feel me? And I felt she did a very good job at emoting. Like, she really did. And then if you pay attention, I didn't realize as I was watching, she actually, you know, when she speaks, as she's doing sign language, you hear her voice a little bit come out as she's speaking. And the sign language was great too. All the actors who actually, you know, participated with her in her scenes and spoke with her, if they didn't know sign language, they did a great job at learning, you know, specifically for this show. But like I said, this show is very disappointing, bro. Very. Anyways. Sorry, y'all. You know, I gotta take my pull before I get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I call this shit the sesh, but I don't even be burning, you know what I'm saying, while while I'm doing it. But yeah, y'all. This is don't watch. Don't waste your time. And I feel bad saying that because I definitely respected Alaqua Cox for her participation in this role. Anyways, you know, smash that motherfucking like button, share, subscribe, comment. I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all.